wanna be a weekend lover. Yeah, I'ma be the best damn lover you got. I wanna mess up your covers. I don't wanna meet your mother. Never ever ask me how I've been. Remember why you have my number. I'm the best thing that has ever happened to you. Here's your time to shine. Now show me what you can do. The way my hands feel on your body, the way we're dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. I ain't got no time for romance, but baby I don't want to lead you on. Not looking for something steady, not ready for that. I'm the best thing that has ever happened to you. Here's your time to shine. Now show me what you can do. Make a move. The way my hands feel on your body, the way we're dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. With every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, with every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, I'm the best thing that has ever happened to you. Here's your time to shine. Now show me what you can do. Make a move. The way my hands feel on your body, the way we're dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. With every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, with every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, for me. Isn't it my birthday yet? Cause I gotta say, you're looking like a gift for me. Wrapped up nice and neat, baby. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy. Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things I love, love, love. You could be the one I trust. All the second chances, they are nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of the things I love. We don't have to move so fast, baby, I will show you how you can catch my vibe. And right here we got so much time, looping in the blurry lights. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy. Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things I love, love, love. You could be the one I trust. All the second chances, they are nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of the things I love. The things I love, the things I love, the things I love, 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 love. The things I love, the things I love. Be one of the things I love. The things I love, the things I love, the things I love, 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 love. The things I love, the things I love. Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things I love, love, love. You could be the one I trust. All the second chances, they are nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of the things I love. The things I love, the things I love, the things I love, 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 love. The things I love, the things I love. Be one of the things I love. The things I love, the things I love, the things I love, 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 love. The things I love, the things I love. Be one of the things I love. I know you're hurt. I can see it in your eyes, babe. You need to let your mind off things. No, it hurts. I can see it in your eyes, babe. But I know you have a lot to give. I know that it's getting cold, the waves are crashing in. When the streams are getting strong, just hold on to me, yeah. I'm your lighthouse, I'm the sun against your dark clouds. I will always be your guiding light. I'm your lighthouse, I'm the sun against your dark clouds. I will always be your guiding light. I know you're